Hi everybody, it is Catherine here from Continue the Magic, and this is your news update for the week of April 13th. So we've got a lot of little pieces of news this week. There's some new discounts on both dining and for tickets. We've got some new updates on what's happening in the parks and a new sponsorship from Air Canada. So let's get started. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. It really helps us out here at the channel, and make sure that you never miss one of the videos coming out. So first big news is coming out with Josh D'Amaro taking over. One of the biggest announcements is that there's going to be a large amount of layoffs coming. So there's talking about around 1,000 layoffs. It sounds like it's mostly going to be from marketing. So obviously there's going to be a change in strategy here. So it's interesting to see where they're going to revamp and where they're going to go with their marketing strategy to try and get those numbers for the parks going up, keep that attendance, and keep their marketing strong. Now let's talk about a new ticket that was released. So they now are going to have an after 2 p.m. ticket. So this is good from May 26th to July 29th, and this starts at around $116 to $118 per day. So if you want a cheaper way to get in to see the parks, if you're more of the nightlife kind of person and you're not looking to rope drop in the mornings, this is a good way to get into the parks, be able to see the night spectaculars, get some time. You are going to be looking at kind of that peak period right at the start, around 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Still tends to be pretty busy and pretty hot, but then you get into the cooler evenings when the crowds tend to die down a little bit. So this is a good option if you're looking for another way to get into the parks. Another good option if you're a Florida resident is a 2-park ticket. So this is good through April 18th. Now this is specifically only for Epcot and Animal Kingdom. So it's $180, a decent deal for park tickets, but you're not going to get Magic Kingdom, you're not going to get Hollywood Studios. So this is clearly, they're seeing where they're having lighter attendance and they're pushing people to those parks, but this is a good option if you want a cheap ticket to go and see the parks. Another push for spring, so this one ends on April 30th, and there's up to 25% off on rooms. So a lot of discounts coming out for this spring period that are ending in April. Interesting to see that they're still getting this push and trying to get those last minute people in for the time. Next, for my annual pass holders, from May 1st to July 31st, we have the dining discounts coming back. So this is up to 40% off dining at certain sit-down restaurants. So this is a really good deal if you are an annual pass holder already. Now the first two are only 20% off, but these are heavy hitters. This is Be Our Guest and Crystal Palace at the Magic Kingdom. So having any discount at kind of those prime restaurants is a great deal. And then we have 20% off the number of different restaurants. So at Epcot, we have the Beer Garden, Coral Reef, and the Garden Grill. Over at Hollywood Studios, we have the Hollywood and Vine. We have Tiffin's and Tusker House at Animal Kingdom. And then heading to Disney Springs and the resorts, we have Toledo, we have Cape May Cafe, we have Whispering Canyon, and we have Toledo. So some really good options. Again, clearly they're trying to boost some of those reservations during that time period, but you might as well take advantage of the discount. Some quick construction updates at Disney World. So at Animal Kingdom, the canopy has gone up for Encanto, so we're starting to see more movement on that Tropical Americas section. The castle is still under construction, but at this point, all of the pink is gone, so we are seeing that return to that classic blue and gray aesthetic, which I love. So great to see that that's moving. Hopefully that project will wrap up soon. And then heading over to Epcot, the refreshment port has been down, and they're going to be replacing it with an official Poutinerie. So this is already kind of what they were serving there, so they're leaning into that branding. This is now going to be sponsored by Air Canada. So Air Canada is already the official Canadian airline of Walt Disney World, so they're leaning into this sponsorship. So in addition to them sponsoring the Poutinerie, there's also additional things you can now do with your Air Canada points. So you can use them for VIP packages for Luminous. You're going to be able to use them for gift cards, for even Disney luggage. So a lot of options here. It's great to see that Canada is getting a little bit more foothold in Disney. Hopefully that means extra discounts on our end. That would be really nice to see. The other update for Disney World is changes to the Starlight Parade. So if you see my review on this one, The floats are pretty, but there is a definite lack of light and lack of movement, especially in between the floats. So it looks like they are slowly adding in more lights on those performers that are walking in between the floats. So now we've got light up tiaras, we've got a few other things. Still a lot of work to be done there, but it does look like they are investing in this parade and they are trying to make upgrades. And the most notable upgrade, if you haven't seen it yet, Peter Pan and Wendy on their flight, they used to kind of do choreography on the float itself, and now they are doing aerial choreography. So Peter Pan and Wendy are actually flying at this point. Super great to see. I love that they are making improvements to this parade. I think it can be great if they continue to invest in it, but it's definitely not there yet. Over at Disneyland, it's now official. There have been 9 permits filed. 2 of them specifically call out the removal of the Monsters, Inc. attraction. So this thing's going to be leveled. We're not talking an overlay here. We're talking a full, it's coming down and we're getting something new. So we're gonna have to say goodbye to Monsters, Inc. At least we have that to look forward to over in Walt Disney World. But I know if you're over on the West Coast, that doesn't particularly help you. And then over on Disney Plus on April 15th, so the day that this video comes out, they are finally putting Spider-Man No Way Home on Disney Plus. So it's interesting to see how long it took them to get this. Obviously there's some complications because this is partially a Sony picture and is not completely owned by Disney. It's more of a partnership, so there must have been some logistics issues there, but it is now going to be on Disney Plus, and this is a great way to kind of build up hype and build up interest for Spider-Man Brand New Day, which if you've seen the trailer, it looks great. Obviously, we've left Spider-Man on kind of a cliffhanger where he is on his own. Nobody remembers who he is, so he's going to have to not only deal with that, but it looks like an entire new evolution of where Spider-Man is going. So this is going to be really interesting. It looks like it's probably going to tie into the comics where Spider-Man kind of transitions more into that spider. He starts losing control. We might be looking at a multiple-armed version of Tom Holland. So very excited to see where they go with this. I think this is the first time I've been kind of hyped about a Marvel movie in a while. So this one I will definitely be checking out. So that's a quick news update for this week. Make sure again that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button, and we will see you next time.